I've been at Stanford for a long time now. And so at each level, there have been different challenges. So I came as a student years ago and then stayed for my residency. And then after that, came back and joined the faculty. As a faculty, there was definitely a profound sense of isolation that probably hadn't been felt as much when I was on the other levels of my career. But I think the themes is that at each level, it was essential to be able to build as well as tap into the existing infrastructure.
What I found in some of the faculty as well were people who were willing to accept me into their laboratories. Dr. Susan Knox in radiation oncology was just starting off her laboratory, and I became the very first student in that laboratory. And so all of those things really helped me to really get a sense of feeling like I belonged.
I think probably the most recent graduate out of the panelists, I can definitely say that thanks to many of the people on this call, we've made so much progress, and I felt like immediately integrated. Once I joined Stanford, I didn't have to look far to find community just because of a lot of the groundwork that so many people had done before.
So I was actually born here in the Bay Area. And I went to UC Berkeley undergrad, but I went to medical school at Howard. Going from California to Howard, California to DC was culture shock. You're there and everybody looks like you and leaders. And so that was just eye-opening for me coming from California to see, Black and brown professors, putting the knowledge down and having that level of pride.
And then when I got to Stanford, the experience every time that I took care of a Black patient, I'm sure all of us have had that experience where there's that, you walk into the room, there's that moment of kind of awe on their face that did you walk into the right room? Are you meant to be here? Are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? When they recognize that you're one of their doctors, and the look of pride in their eyes, that definitely carries me, and the looks on those faces are something I can't ever forget.
I had a patient with sickle cell coming into the ER in crisis, 20-year-old female. She clearly needed hydration. She clearly needed pain meds. But because she had been such a frequent flyer in the ER, she had been labeled as a drug seeker. And so when I wrote my prescription, the attending at the time told me we weren't going to provide her the medication she needed because of the previous history of seeking drugs, which she needed to control her sickle cell pain. And she left with basically nothing. And I will never, ever forget the feeling that I had. What did I do wrong? What should I have done differently?
My words of encouragement are, be that trailblazer. Yes, we're angry that we're still doing trailblazing stuff in 2022, but guess what? If we don't do it, who else is going to do it? The generation behind us still have to be somebody has to be the trailblazer. So do it.
I would encourage people to find ways to share your experiences, share what you're going through. Don't keep hard things bottled up inside. Get these stories out there. The more of these stories that are out there, the more kind of that's what your community becomes. That's what the institution becomes. I think maybe one of the most transformative things that I did was take a creative writing class for medical students that was led by Dr. Audrey Schaefer. And it was such a powerful thing for me that I ended up taking it over and over and over again, because I just felt like it allowed me to have this new skill set in the craft of writing outside of scientific writing. And I was able to think about how can I persuade and build empathy through narrative.
I want folks to take at heart to be who you are. Do not allow other people to define you, and to somehow continue to be true to whatever that initial vision was that you had when you started this journey to medicine.
In my case, I evolved into politics. I run for office, for elected office now twice. And I still feel very much like I'm a doctor, but I just have taken on a different subspecialty. And that subspecialty is political medicine.
I think it's really important to remind yourself that these institutions need us way more than you need them, and that you are so valuable just being you. And I think that has carried me through so much.